Everyone, and thank you for joining in this important session, and thank you to the board members for the invitation. My name is Tia Simmons, and I work with the technology training team, which is a division of IT, information technology, and I'm happy to be here.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, board members, for the invitation as well. I am also on the technology training team. My name is Michelle Conti, and I'm very excited to be here this evening.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Baylor. I'd like to thank everyone for inviting me to speak at this forum. I am the environmental specialist for the school system, and I represent building services.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tamara Cease. I serve as the online programs coordinator for the Area 3 office.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Foster Jr. I am a field supervisor for the Department of Safety and Security Services, and thank you. I am honored as well to.
Thank you so very much, everybody.
Good evening, Carlotta Merrill, Social Superintendent, High Schools and Alternative Schools.
Good evening, Meg Geber-Selassie from the Communications Team, Acting Media Relations Director. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. I think everybody except for our illustrious district liaison in our Board of Education office, Ms. Plachette Monroe. Ms. Plachette, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Hi, greetings, everyone. I am Plachette Monroe, is board member Ahmed said, and I am the district liaison. Currently, I am serving under board member Belinda Queen and board member Ahmed, and thank you so much for being here.
With that, back to you, Ms. Queen.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Ahmed. This is a team effort, you guys. We're working together to get this done, you guys, so bear with us. So at this time, as we've had introductions now, we're gonna go ahead and have the staff give a little bit more information. They're gonna do a presentation, and then after the presentation, it will not be long, you guys, because it's really about you asking your questions and us answering your questions, but we are gonna give them a chance to do a presentation. So I think we have School Messenger up first. Is that what we're gonna go with first, School Messenger? Megan, I'm so glad you broke your name down to Megan, Meg, because I was like, how was I gonna say this name? So who's gonna go first? I have two on here. I have so many names. Let's see. Messenger, we got Meg. Yeah, Meg, you go first.
Okay. All right. I'm happy to begin. So again, good evening, everyone. My name is Meg Geber-Selassie. You can call me Meg G. And I'm currently Acting Media Relations Director for the school system. I will speak briefly about School Messenger, and I'll really talk about what it is and how we're using it, and also how to ensure you're receiving PGCPS messages and or how to adjust your preferences. School Messenger is a new platform we're using to send both school level and school system level notifications to families. It replaces our former Gov delivery system, which we use to send messages. Through this platform, we can send a variety of communications, including robocalls, so the phone messages that you get, emails, and also text messages. What's particularly useful for us moving forward with this platform is that we can talk to all families, or we can segment, and we can be really targeted about who we're reaching. So we can segment by school or grade level, by language, just to make sure people are getting the news they need, but maybe not news they don't need, because we all know how our inboxes can get a little bit overwhelmed. This new system also allows us to segment by language spoken and to also quickly translate messages into other languages to ensure families are receiving information in their native language. This summer, you might have saw prompts in our newsletters and on social media encouraging families to sign up for Messenger to continue receiving messages from us. Just some backstory on that. That was due to the fact that in email marketing, best practice is typically that companies don't like you to export huge lists of information into new systems without customers opting in. They want your consent. They want to make sure you want to hear from us. Fortunately, we were able to work around that as a school system so that we can continue sharing information leading into the new school year. So today we do have 160,000 total email addresses in Messenger, to which notifications are currently being sent. And these contacts do have the ability to opt out or unsubscribe if they no longer wish to receive our news. So to the important part on how to use Messenger, if you are currently receiving PGCPS updates via email and or text message, for example, if you've gotten an Engage newsletter in the last week or two, if you've gotten a notice on immunization clinics, if you got something about the recent drive-in dashes that we just did this weekend, or perhaps CEO Golton's email on health and safety, then you're getting our messages and you need to do nothing technically. If you are not receiving these things and you're not getting our news, what you can do is you can go to the pgcps.org website. You're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. There is a button there called Get the Latest Information, Sign Up for Text Messages, Emails, and Newsletters. You're going to click that button. So first-time users, you're going to need to create a new account. And what you need to do that is first and last name, email address, and you're going to have to select a passcode. Once you do that, two things are going to happen. An activate account page will appear, and then you're also going to get an email with an activation code. Now, this is where I know some people have been getting tripped up a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to go to your email, you want to grab that code. So copy and paste it, and then go right back to where you were, enter it to activate, and you will be inside of the system. The one thing you'll want to know about this system that GovDelivery did not offer is its ability to act as sort of your own inbox. So let's say you do miss an email with the Engage newsletter. It can happen. At any time, you can log into Messenger and you can see whatever the last, like in the last 30 days, you can see everything that we sent you and you can go back and reread those messages. So that's a really cool feature. And beyond School Messenger, we do ask families to keep in mind that your individual school likely is using maybe a different tool or a different app to share information. I have 2 children in the school system, so I know I have to keep up, with other forms. So be sure to, at your orientation or back to school night, definitely tune into what your school might be using in addition to. And also a reminder that we do share news across 6 social media platforms almost on a daily basis. And those include Facebook in Espanol, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So we encourage any of our families. We encourage any of our families that are using those platforms on a daily basis to follow us, to connect with us. And that's a great place to stay on top of news and often see things first. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much. And we're going to ask you guys, just to remind you guys to please mute your mics. We love to hear what's going on in your household, but right now, everybody really want to hear about Prince George's County Public School and what's going to be going on with their babies. So please, if you can, mute your mic so we can go on and we won't interrupt the speakers. Thank you all so very much. Thank you for that overview of messengers. Everybody, we all will be able to answer the questions if you have questions. And if you're like me, you may forget, just drop it in the chat and we'll come back to the questions in a little bit, but we want to just get through the introductions real quick and then we're going to answer as many questions as possible. But if you have a question about Messenger, please drop it in the chat right now so you won't forget it. So at this time, we're going to have Ms. Tia Simmons, who's going to talk about School Max overview.
Thank you. So I just want to also piggyback on what Ms. Megan shared earlier. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Or is someone's microphone unmuted?
Yeah, my phone is on mute. And I don't know, Ms. Wright, if you can hear me, it look like it's your phone, sweetie. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. So I just want to piggyback on what Megan G shared earlier. And by the way, Megan, I will be saying your name that way from now on. Thank you. Instead of trying to pronounce your last name. It's beautiful. But I just want to piggyback on what she shared earlier. A great way to ensure that you will receive the messages from School Messenger in addition to signing up is to make sure that your contact information is up to date. So making sure that your school knows your phone numbers. If you've had them changed in the last couple of years, making sure that you have that updated so that when we do need to send out alerts or perhaps emergency alerts, we have that information on hand with you. And one of the things that we do connect with School Messenger is Family Portal, which has grown exponentially over the last couple of years. And this is a way in which not only you can receive emails through School Messenger, perhaps when your school sends messages, but also it will allow you to be able to have at your fingertips access to your students' current grades and attendance information. So that way you don't have to call the school and wait for an answer, reach out to the teacher and wait for an answer. You have it at your fingertips. And all you have to do is just use whatever email address you already have to sign up. So my colleague, Michelle Conti, is going to walk through a little bit of the sign up. And if you have any questions about Family Portal, again, like board member Queen shared, you can drop those in the chat.
Thank you so much, Tia. So we just want to let you know what you need to do in order to sign up for the Family Portal. So we have a checklist for you to make it a little easier so that you can remember what you need in order to create your Family Portal accounts. The first thing you need is an active email address to receive messages. So this can be any personal email. And if you work for the district, it cannot be your PGCPS email, but it has to be a personal email in which you can access. You can log in, you know the password to it, so that you'll be able to receive those email messages. Additionally, you would need to know your child's or your scholar's student ID number. This is a 9-digit ID number that is assigned to the student that follows them from the time they are enrolled in Prince George's County Public Schools until they graduate. Okay, so you would need that number in order to register, and you can find that number on your child's report card or progress report. Okay, additionally, you will need to know your address and your zip code, your student's primary address when you are creating your Family Portal account. It's very important that you enter the information correctly, as well as you'll need to have your student's date of birth, create your account. You will receive an email with a code that you're going to have to go in and basically say or acknowledge or verify that email so that you can begin receiving your Family Portal email messages that are specifically coming through School Messenger. Now, if you say, well, I already have a Family Portal account, but I can't get into it. In the event that you are locked out of your Family Portal account, you will need to contact your child's school, and there's a person there called the Family Portal Administrator. They will then put in a help desk ticket to have your account unlocked or reset. Again, you're going to receive some type of verification that you'll have to click on, stating that this is the correct email you want to use in order to begin receiving messages within the Family Portal. Okay. One quick note that's very important: when you are creating your Family Portal account, you must use a computer, a desktop computer or a laptop. You cannot use your mobile phone or a tablet. Okay. All right. So we also offer you all to access the mobile Family Portal account. If you go to the web page, you'll find that we have a Family Portal page that has tons of resources, but we also have a parent resource page for you. And we put that parent resource page within this presentation. So if you go to the bit.ly/DL parent resources, you're going to find this information and so much more that will be beneficial to you as we are starting this new school year. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, I'm double dipping. I'm trying to see if I changed the chat so everyone could chat or not. I'm not sure if it worked. So if it may work, somebody can try it and then I'll see if it did work or not. You're gonna have to send a question to one of the hosts. But if
I was going to say, if it is possible for us to change it so that everyone could respond in the chat. Yeah, I'm doing my best here though. So thank you for your patience.
Yeah, so I do apologize. Someone had just told me that. So I did change this. So I think everybody now can send your questions in the chat. Thank you guys so very much. Okay.
This is,
okay,
sorry,
great.
This is push chat. They should be able to do it.
Yeah, I just changed it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so very much.
Hello, sorry to interrupt. I'm one of the interpreters. Right now we only have one interpreter doing simultaneous, and I was wondering if you could turn on the interpreter option for Jasmine, so we could have two simultaneous, so they could switch every 15 minutes, please, if it's possible.
Did you hear that one?
Yes.
Thank you so very much.
For Jasmine, will do.
Okay. Thank you.
so very much. Thank you, guys. Thank everybody for being with us now. So at this time, we're going to get a COVID update, which I know this is probably about the most important to a lot of you. So worried now, especially with the Delta variant. So Alex is going to give us a COVID update. So Alex.
Yes, ma'am.
You're on the hot spot.
all the time. So Dr. Golson has decided that we will provide bottled water to all schools, all students. And what we're doing is we're having deliveries made right as we speak for at least 2 bottles of water per child per day. And that's the bare bones minimum. Now, we also have bottle-filled water stations at every school. So there's not a limit to the amount of water or anything like that that your child has access to. But that's where we're starting at. That's our basis. For Deer Park, 2 bottles of water per child for every single day that we have school. So 180 days. And again, if the child gets through about 2 bottles, no worries, no problems. There's still plenty. And it can always go to the bottle-filled water station that we have for every school. Also,
I'm sorry, just one moment. I need whoever TH is to please mute yourself, you guys. If you're not on mute, there you go. Thank you.
No problem. Also, we have installed over 95,000 MERV 13 filters where applicable. Not every single piece of machinery that we have can take a MERV 13, but trust me, everywhere that we could put a MERV 13 filter, we have done that. And all of our HVAC systems. And that's to help make sure that we filter out anything that may be in the air that we do not want in the air. We also have purchased over 3,000 air purifiers. And these air purifiers, you'll see them, they're in the classrooms, they're in the temporary buildings. We have some air scrubbers that are a little smaller than the air purifiers, but their purpose is the same thing. And they go into the temporary buildings. And we've passed them out to as many schools as possible. And we do have some more that are coming in. Of course, there's a big demand for them, so they're really hard to get access to, but they're coming in and they are deployed out to all the schools. They're especially in our nurses stations as well as our cares room, so that anyone who may have symptoms and things like that that are put into the cares room, there's an air purifier there as well. We also have purchased and deployed over 400 electrostatic disinfectant machines to all facilities. Every single Prince George's County Public School facility has an electrostatic disinfecting machine. Some have 2 or 3, depending on like the high schools and things like that, have multiples. And those machines are used on a daily basis. And they're not really used while the children are in school, but they are used every afternoon to help with the cleaning and the disinfecting of our facilities. And every employee has been trained on those and how to use them and use them properly. We also have purchased and deployed 50 Autobot. They're ultraviolet disinfecting robots are what they are. And what we're going to do with these machines, if we have a COVID outbreak or anything like that, they will be deployed out to the school and used along with the disinfecting machines and the custodial staff, and everyone is trained in the proper use of them to help destroy and kill any COVID spores or anything like that that are in that facility. And they will be used in some buildings on a daily, but these machines will be deployed and they're to help with the disinfecting process. We also have developed and implemented disinfecting procedures and schedules designed to meet all CDC recommendations for the disinfecting of the schools. So what we've done is, and you'll see the next point is provided training to all custodial staff, is that we've trained all our custodial staffs in the newest, latest, and greatest disinfecting procedures. And we provided them with a schedule, and they have a book that the supervisor must fill out on a daily basis. For instance, the bathrooms must be disinfected and cleaned at least 2 to 3 times every single day. And that is to be placed in the book so that any supervisor, principal can check and see exactly when and what time and who disinfected what bathroom in the school. They also have been taught how to disinfect properly high touch surfaces, doorknobs, and things like that, to make sure that we're staying properly cleaned and disinfected. The schedule is they have a schedule of exactly who was to disinfect and where are they to disinfect on a daily basis. We've also purchased and disseminated, as you can see, we have no thing of hand sanitizer dispensers. They are everywhere in the schools. All right, we have no shortage of them. So if they find out or anything as far as no dispensers, I'm sorry, hand sanitizer, they're everywhere. We have plenty of cases of hand sanitizers, so there's no shortage of those types of things. You see 83,000 face masks. So even if your child doesn't remember to bring their face mask, we have something for your child or any visitor that come in the building that may have forgotten their face mask. We have plenty on hand for that, as well as gloves. And the gloves are mainly used by our custodial staffs to make sure that they stay safe and they clean and disinfect as they go along. And as you can see, 13,000 gallons of disinfectant is what we have on hand right now. And there's no shortage of disinfectant. We can get as much as we want, as much as we need it. All our disinfectant that we are using are on the EPA N list. So they're certified by the EPA to kill the COVID virus. And that's what we're using for everything. Okay, it's a lemon quat based, and it's on the EPA N list. So it will, and everything that you see there is all CDC, EPA certified, guaranteed, and we're using everything on a daily basis. So thank you for allowing me to speak, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions.
I'm sure it will be. Thank you so very much, Mr. Baylor. At this time, we're going to go to transportation. Mr. Tony.
Good evening again. My name is Tony Sproul. I am the operations supervisor for Prince George's County Public Schools Transportation Department, and I have the privilege of working for the 10th largest transportation unit in the United States of America. We travel from Washington, D.C., to Fairfax, Virginia, to Montgomery County, to Howard County, all the way into the city of Baltimore, including support down to 200 schools in Prince George's County.
There you go. We think.
Okay, thank you. So we have a very large transportation system here in Prince George's County Public Schools. What's new with us this year? Well, what's new with us this year is we have a new technology system that we brought in, and we're using School Max to register all of our parents in order to use a Stop Finder app to use a geo alert to let parents know when the buses are coming and when the bus is actually there. So you can set a geo alert up to let you know that the bus is 1 stop away, 2 stops away, and then it will let you know when the bus is actually at the stop. In order to get this app, you have to use your Google Play or your Apple iPhone, and you can download StopFinder.com. Once you download the information, you'll receive information from Prince George's County Public Schools, and it will set you up so that you can start using it. In order to use this, you have to make sure that all of your information in School Max is correct. You have to make sure that your email is correct, your address is correct, the student's name and other information is correct in the school maps. Once you do that, you will be able to use this system. All right. It's very important to know that starting today, postcards will be going out to all of our parents in Prince George's County Public Schools, giving them their route information and their bus stop information. Now, remind you, we have over almost 90,000 students that ride our bus. So that's a lot of mail that's going out. And so if you want to look at it now, you can go into a system that we call Info Finder. And Info Finder will allow you to look your child's information bus stop in just by putting in your home address. All right. If you need transportation for this upcoming school year, starting the first day of school, September the 8th, you have to make sure that you reach out to your register at your school, and this information must be in by August 25th in order to be routed to a bus for September the 8th. So if you know you're going to need transportation, you have until Wednesday, October the 25th to reach out to your school and get your information into school maps so that a bus can be routed for you by the first day of school. Again, the stop finder information is very important, and a lot of parents are excited that they're going to be able to actually track their child's bus route and know when that bus is coming, and then know exactly when that bus is at the bus stop. In order to get this information again, you have to please make sure that your information is correct in school maps so that you can have this. Our pre-K and kindergarten students are still going to have to wear the bright neon vest. Your school will provide those vests for you, and it is important that we put those vests on our pre-K and kindergarten students so that our drivers will know exactly who to keep their eye on so that the parent can directly receive those students before that bus pulls off. So it's very important that if we have a pre-K or kindergarten student coming into our school system, that you reach out to the school and make sure that you get one of those bright neon vests. It's going to help the driver know exactly who they need to keep their eye on until someone is there to receive them. And so we have another system that's coming up. It's called the Bus Patrol. It's a stop arm system. We were having problems with cars running the stop arms as kids were crossing and trying to get on the bus. So all of our buses are equipped with an outside camera that will ticket anyone who goes across that stop arm camera, and they will receive a $250 ticket for doing so. And we're hoping after that get out a couple of times, when people see those red lights and that arm pull out, they will immediately stop and allow the students to cross the street safely so that they can board the bus. So we're very excited in transportation. Today was our kickoff. And so all of our 10-month employees returned back today. We're going through orientation. We're going through a virtual bid system. You will soon, starting Thursday, see our buses driving around again. And it's just a great sight to see our buses back on the road again. And we're highly motivated and ready for the first day of school.
Thank you so very much for that. Just wanted to say, you guys, to remind you, please mute your phones. I see your hands are up. We were going to do questions at the end. We only have 2 more presentations, safety, security, and online option. But I know some of you are like me, a little antsy. And I know, you don't worry just because it said it was 6:30 to 7:30. That don't matter to me. If anybody know me, we're going to get most of these questions answered. But I see some hands up, and apparently they like burning hands, like, like me, the ADHD child. So board member staff have then called me and say, hey, we need to answer some of these people questions because they got their hands all up, and trust me, I can relate. So as long as your question is not about safety, security, service, and online option, I'm gonna go ahead and let Ms. Stafford go ahead and answer a couple of questions. Do you want to do the ones on the chat, or you want to start with?
Sure. Yeah, I'll pull out. Yeah, I'll pull out some from the chat.
Yeah, but I see 3 hands up. They like burning. Apparently,
okay.
Miss Tanya been up for a while.
Okay, I'm gonna go through the ones that we have in the chat. Some of these have been in here for a little while. If you don't mind just putting them in the chat, that way we can, make sure, because we also have we also have staff from the administration here that are also answering some of the questions in the chat as well. So here's our question about sanitization. So I think a lot of parents, I'm seeing some themes about wanting to know, how will the sanitization in the fall differ from what was done in the spring, given that the Delta variant is more contagious? And how will we address the issue of air circulation? We talked about air purifiers, but not necessarily circulation. So that's one question there, thinking about sanitization, the difference, and how we'll also address circulation. So let's start with that one.
And just to say, when you answer these questions, you guys try to be direct and to the point. And if you one of them people who get into a long speech, then ask them to send you an email and you can give them a long speech. But we want to answer and be able to answer as many questions as possible. So let's kind of like be a little bit direct and to the point with the answers.
All right, with the sanitation difference from the spring to this fall, it's just more frequency. That's the big difference. Making sure we touch them high touch surfaces with a little bit more frequency. As far as air circulation, there's no difference from the air circulation from what we had in the spring from what we'll have here in the fall and the rest of the school year.
Okay, thank you. I have also a question about the sanitization of the buses. How will students be socially distanced on the buses? What will be sort of the cleaning protocols on the buses? And are we doing work to solicit drivers that are non-English speaking?
Well, that's 3 questions into one.
I'm trying to combine similar types of questions so we can get through some of these.
So as our transportation unit works very closely with Mr. Baylor and their department. Our buses are sanitized twice a day with the sanitizing machines. Our drivers wipe the buses down after every stop. All of our students will be required to wear a mask. All of our drivers will wear a mask, and we will wipe the buses down as much as possible. So what was the other question?
I think it was just social distancing on the bus. How will we do that? Will there be less students riding the bus? Will there be, what will happen in regards to that?
Right. So the school system is going back in full with all of our students returning back to school. And so again, we transport almost 90,000 students. And again, we have 1,200 school buses. But as we all know, we are about 200 school bus drivers down, starting from day one. It's a problem nationwide. It's not just a Prince George's County problem. If you've been watching the news, you've been seeing that all of our school systems are trying to catch up and trying to figure out how we are going to get our students to school. And so with 200 drivers down from day one, we're going to do our best to make sure that all of our students are transported to school safely, but it's going to be a challenge for us with the number of students that we have in such a large county.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Can I just add into that?
Sure.
Just Mr. Sproul and Tony, you know me, I'll do first things, but can we just also make sure that siblings are sitting together? That would kind of help. I mean, I know one of the things I hear from my granddaughter, a lot of times she'd be wanting to sit with her cousin, and because they're different age level, they be trying to put her toward the front and the older ones to the back. But I think in an instance with COVID, we may want to sit siblings together because they're in the same household or they're in the same family. So we may want to start looking at that. It doesn't matter if a child is little, but if they part of their family, and maybe if they can sit with their siblings, that would help out a lot too. So I just wanted to throw that out there also. Thank you.
I agree. What we try to do is to make sure that our 4 and 5-year-olds are sitting up front with the driver. And sometimes when we allow the 4 and 5-year-olds to go to the back with the 10 and 11-year-olds. Sometimes the environment is not what they should be in. And so we've made a conscious decision to make sure that the driver keeps an eye on the 4 and 5-year-olds and basically sit them up front.
Yeah, 4 and 5-year-olds good, but my grandbaby 8 going on 9, and they did that to me. So,
okay.
But I definitely understand the 4 and 5-year-olds. So thank you.
I wanted to ask another question about COVID exposure. So what will be the process if there is COVID exposure? How long does the class have to quarantine? And then how will families be notified?
Ms. Merrill, do you know the answer to that?
So it varies depending on the age group in terms of the time frame. So of course, if it is a situation where there's one child in the class or the entire class would quarantine for 14 days or until released by Prince George's County Health Department. That's our early childhood and our pre-K students. We're also encouraging to do self-checks daily. I'm trying to give you all the different levels because it varies for vaccinated versus not. So the CDC requires everyone 12 years and older, of course, to be vaccinated. And then if in fact, if they're exposed, the isolation period is different for each level. And so I'll try to type it in the chat because I'm trying to summarize, which is a lot of different information depending on the case. So you're encouraged to quarantine if you're not vaccinated. And then if you are vaccinated and you come in contact with someone and you do not have symptoms, you do not have to quarantine. But if you do have symptoms, then you do quarantine. And so that it's spelled out very differently for each age group and each staff.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Member Ada Stafford, can we have Ms. Ahmed to go ahead and act the people with the hands up? Ms. Ahmed, can you call them?
Sure. Sure.
Sure, I can. Can we have Ms. Janice ask her question, Ms. Janice? Janice's iPad. You're on mute.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, we can hear you, Ms.
Okay, so my
Was you
first
water or
question-
something?
Huh?
No,
So my first question is, I applied for the online campus for my sons, but I have not received further information regarding their status.
Okay.
That's the first thing. I also
we're gonna come back to that, Ms. Anise. I mean, we stopped
it's
at
Janice. It's
I'm sorry,
Janice Queen.
Hey Janice, how are you? So we're gonna come back to that. We didn't do safety, security, and service and online campus yet. So any questions with safety, security, and service and online campus, can we ask you guys to hold them? But any other questions, we can go ahead and answer that. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have to talk about that.
Okay, so the gentleman addressed like the he really didn't address social distancing on the bus. I think that was a question that wasn't addressed. He mainly said that, you know, we're already 200 buses or drivers down, and he really didn't address it. So although we're down 200, that means that there won't be social distancing on the buses. Is that correct? Or because it wasn't answered. I feel like it wasn't answered. So if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. But
well, I'm gonna be honest with you, he did answer it. In a way, he's saying that it won't be like when we were in, what was it, hybrid learning, where it was every other seat. It won't be like that. It probably be 2 people to a seat, just like it normally with their masks on. He did state that we don't have the buses, and you know we're short of drivers. So his answer, he didn't just say flat out no. He just told you that we have a shortage. It will be regular, just like the students who will be going back. The only difference is I can say that I know most parents, a lot of parents are going to probably be dropping their kids off because of the safety in the buses and the security. So some will be doing that, but it is definitely no guarantee. No kids will be 3 feet apart. We don't have the buses to get the kids on time like that. So your child, if your child is alone and doesn't have a sibling to sit with, more likely your child will be sitting by somebody else.
Oh, you're not going by the CDC
COVID, you're not going by that? They're not going by that?
It's not now with them going back to school.
I can't understand that with the kids, with the virus going back up. How are we to send our kids back to school when there's no safety protocol for them?
Okay, Miss Wright,
I
love you, but you got 3 other people in front of you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
gonna answer your question. But we got 3 other people in front of you. Go ahead, Miss Janet.
So, okay, so my last thing is, I know you guys are installing like the hand sanitizers and things like that. Before COVID, there was an issue with no soap dispensers, no soap being in the bathrooms and things like that. And there are times where my kids would not go to the bathroom because the bathrooms are so dirty. So will there be soap dispensers installed? And how often? I know they said 3 times a day that they would clean the bathrooms, but what are the times that they were cleaning?
So, Ms. Janice, I've actually started walking some of my schools already in my district, and I'm hoping my other board members take the time to do that. When I walk the schools, I checked the hand sanitizers while I was there. They were full of soap. We've been guaranteed, and you heard it said that it is plenty, that we have plenty of stock. We do ask, and I ask you guys to just, tell your students, if for some reason, let's be realistic, you guys, just like in our households, if my grandbaby, if somebody go in the bathroom and the last of the hand sanitizer is gone, let adult know. If she's not old enough to let adult, and that's what we ask the kids to do. Let adult, let your teacher, let somebody know. We have enough to put in there. It's just, it may be times that it may run out and they may not realize that a lot of kids have used it, but they are supposed to be going in that bathroom. And as he did say, they will be held accountable. But if for some reason one bathroom is used a lot more and we find out that they're constantly having to change that one bathroom, then that schedule will be adjusted. But for right now, if your child goes into a bathroom and they don't see it, tell them to let an adult know, let a teacher know, let the principal know. Let us know. And if they let somebody know and they still have an issue, let me know. Any of the board members know, because it shouldn't be like that. I mean, what was in the past, and I know because I've gotten a lot of emails, all of us as board members got emails and texts, and we've seen it on social media where we had problems with no soap and different things that was not in our bathrooms. And it shouldn't have been, because it's a lot at our warehouses. It really shouldn't have been. And now that we have COVID and all, it really shouldn't be. That really should not be. So please tell them, let you know, let their teacher know. If you guys have that problem, let us know, because we need to address whatever school it is. I don't care what school it is. If the principal is not on it, then we're going to be on it as board members. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We have it's not the child's responsibility. You're trying to put the responsibility in the students now. It's
you're right. We're not trying to put the responsibilities on a teacher, but let's be real honest, you guys. It wasn't this teacher's responsibility last year when we didn't know what was happening. And I'm be honest with you, I was so glad that parents had told the kids that told their parents, because that way I was able to go to some of these schools and say, hey, no, this is not acceptable. So I'm not saying that it's a child's responsibility, but what I'm doing, I am saying it's going to take all of us. It's going to, it may be the teacher's responsibility, but if nobody know, if they go in and for some reason everything is done, because it's really not really the teacher's responsibility, that's a custodial job. But if the teachers are sending their class to the bathroom at that time and there's nothing in there, they still need to say, hey, let the teacher know, so they can let the custodian know, look, it's something wrong. For some reason, it's nothing in the bathroom. It's going to take all of us. It still takes a village. It still takes a village. I'm not asking your child to do that every day, because if your child have to do that every day, every week, then you're right. It's something wrong with that school system, and that's not that child's job. Thank you.
All right, I've seen Laura Howard's hand up for a little bit of time. Laura?
Yes, I'm sorry. I have a question, because my concern is, one thing I realized, a lot of PG County offices are not open, and they're not open due to COVID. Even when you call the Board of Education, they're open on Mondays and Wednesdays. And these are adults that have the choice of being vaccinated or not to be. However, we're sending our kids back in these schools under the age of 12 that don't have that option right now. And they're in the classroom. I know my daughter's kindergarten class was 20 some odd kids. And that's not safe. And it's not safe for these kids to come home to their parents, grandparents who have illnesses, and we don't have any type of buffer there. Like you said, the Delta variant is there. And I understand you guys have upped your cleaning process and things of that nature, but that does not omit anybody from coming into the school, having the coronavirus and spreading it to other kids inside of that classroom. These are kindergartners, first grades, share toys, share pencils. You can tell them no all day long and they still do it. But we don't have the option, nor did the schools reach out the way that they were supposed to in order for your kids to sign up on time.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. And thank you so very much. So let me just say this, and if you want the board member, I'm sorry, yeah, Miss Queen got all the answers. But let me tell you, my family member has a daycare center right here on Central Avenue, and they were open the whole time during COVID. Didn't close down. They was taking emergency kids, have never closed during COVID. They was able to do it. I'm hoping Prince George's County Public School is able to do it. It's really no guarantee because this is Prince George's County Public Schools and that was a daycare center, but that was younger kids and they were able to do it. But I'm hoping we're able to do it. My daughter just came back from California. Their schools never closed down where she was at in California. They still had regular school. So it depends on how clean we keep it. Now, if it gets bad, you can bet and believe Dr. Golson will shut it down. She has not let us down, you guys. And we have one of the baddest CEOs. And when it was time to shut down, she was the first person to shut down. And she did not rush to get us back. You all know the only reason we're going back now is in all reality is because we're trying to keep the money to keep public schools open. And we're going to be realistic about it, you guys, because that's the only way we can keep these schools open is to get the funds. It's not to say that we're not worried about your children. We are definitely worried about your children and we're worried about our safety too. And as board members, our board member staff has requested board members for us to go back. But the chair has decided that she's not ready for that. So trust me and believe each and every one of us understand how you're feeling, but we're trying our best to make sure that your scholars, which are our babies also, that we are putting them first. That is the reason for this town hall. It's all about putting them first. I have no problem with answering every one of your questions. And my girl Phil is on here and y'all know she keep interrupting. She's skeptical. I'm skeptical, but I'm going to send my grandbaby back this time. I didn't send her back last time, but she's going back this time because I know she needs the math. Am I worried? This is my princess and everybody knows this. Yes, I'm worried. Am I concerned? Yes, I'm concerned. Am I going to be praying every day? Yes, but I got to send her back to get an education. But as soon, just like you as a parent, or as a grandparent, if something breaks out, I'm sorry, she have to come out. So just like all of you guys, we as parents and as school board members, we understand. Don't think we don't understand. Don't think we don't feel what you're going through because we are going through some of the same things that you guys are going through. And go ahead, I'm sorry, board.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to also get back to some of the questions here. And I wanted to.
Well, I did have one more question before you go to that one.
Just give me 1 second. I do want to get to your question. And please excuse my daughter in the background. I think what Ms. Queen she's saying is that, I think nationally we have seen that, virtual learning on a whole is not best for our students' social emotional development, for their academic development. While we do realize many students did do well during virtual, a lot of students did thrive. But in order for students to develop those important skills that we know they're going to need in life, they have to come back to school. And so I do hear these concerns. And I wanted to note, I put a link in the chat for you to continue to put your questions there so we can continue to advocate and find the answers to those questions. I wanted to go, I believe, was it Miss Laura? You had your hand up as well. And I do see those hands as well.
And don't forget, Tanya was the first person who had her hand up, and we still haven't answered her question.
Well, can I ask one quick question about the homeschool? I'm trying to sign my daughter up for homeschooling now, and I asked them, is there a curriculum guide or something of that nature to where I should know where she should be at in the fourth quarter for her grade level? And they said they do not have anything. So I'm trying to figure out how can I get that information so that when she goes to take the MAP assessment and things of that nature, she will be on point with what Maryland standards are.
Okay, so Miss Carletta is on here, Merrill. Okay, Miss, could you put your email address in so Miss Laura Howard can reach out to you and you can get the answer to her question, please? Thank you so very much.
Yes,
Thank you for your honesty.
All right, can we have Tanya's iPhone?
Yes, I have a question. I requested, I don't know if you can answer this, but I want to say something before then. A lot of you all y'all concentrated on these kids coming back to school because that's what y'all want to do. Let me finish before anybody comments. I feel as though it's not safe for these kids to go back to school. I'm in the healthcare field. I've seen people die from this in front of my face. It is not safe. I don't care what anybody says. PG County is not ready for these kids to go to school, because if they were, there will be an order. There will be a preference of how you would bus these kids to school. I don't think no child should sit seat to seat, regardless. No one should sit seat to seat because of this Delta variant that's out here and other variants that are coming. I've requested for my child to be virtually online. I haven't got an answer yet to whether my child will be accepted to do virtual. I don't trust my child going back to school. He's in high school senior. I go out here every day and go to work for fear that I'm going to vaccinate it or not, for fear that I'm going to bring my family or my child something back in here. So I can get on here and I can understand how these parents feel about sending these kids back to school, and they're not getting the answers that they're looking for. They're not. You don't know, nobody proposed and gave us anything on how these kids are going to get to school. You just say they're going to sit seat to seat. Seat to seat is not safe right now. It's not safe for the driver, and it's not safe for the kids, because you don't know whom or whatever in whoever's household that the child has came in contact with to get COVID.
Thank you so very much.
That's my point I'm saying.
Right. Thank you so very much, Ms. Tonya. The online, as I stated, you guys, we have not got to online option yet. We're going to take 2 more questions, you guys. We're going to take Robin and M because they have, and it looked like because they haven't answered. But then we're going to go back to security and online, because it seems like a lot of you have online questions. So we can make sure we get these online questions answered. And then LaToya, I see you. We'll come back to you guys with the other questions, but we want to get them. So I'll have y'all names written down for the ones who I didn't call, but we're going to go ahead and take with Robin and M now. Dennis, we already had you. But we're going to take Robin, if we can get a question from Robin right now.
Hi. I'm new to this county. I raised 2 other boys. I have adult children, and I have a 16-year-old. We're new to this town. And I got to tell you, we came from Charles County, and that's not the best county in the whole world. However, compared to PG, I'm very, very heartbroken right now, because my son is, right now, he's in Delaware spending time with his dad, my ex, but he found out today he's going to have to come back to school. And when I tell you the text messages and the calls and the crying, he is terrified. And quite honestly, after hearing this meeting tonight, you guys did a great job putting this together. However, and I'm getting to my question. However, when I hear about the school bus situation and them sitting outside, I am terrified. I'm sitting here kicking myself for not having my son in virtual, and I can't get him in virtual. I'm fearful of his mental health, because I can show you the text messages of him saying he used to love school. He was an AB student. Now he's saying he's going to drop out. He doesn't want to be here. And my heart is broken, because this is scary. I'm scared. We lost 4 family members to COVID. So
Robin, I know you're going to answer a question. I want you to know that I hear you. And I hear the concern, and you got to remember, be honest with you guys, we're hearing this too as board members. I heard this today, but now I'm hearing you guys concerned too. So what do you think? We're going to go back. We're going to go back as board members, and we're going to address this. So I just want to let you guys know, because we're hearing this also, but we're going to have concerns. But I mean, even though I know we heard this recently, we're 240 bus drivers short. So that means that, more of our kids are going to be getting school late. But we're also, I'm sure every board member on here, it's 4 of us on here, me, Ahmed, student board member, and Miss Adam Stafford. We're going to go back and we're going to express these concerns. And we got Miss Merrill here, and trust me, that's staff, that's one of Dr. Golson's right hands. She's going to take these issues back. So this was what this meeting was for us to hear these concerns. everything may not have been thought out, you guys, but we hear you. Trust and believe, we do hear you.
And we haven't gotten any answers. We haven't gotten any answers.
We're trying. We're trying. We just need to make sure, because I'm be honest with you guys, that was not. I didn't think that was going to be one of the biggest issues. And today, I'm beginning to see the buses are one of your biggest issues. So that's something we have to address. So I'm glad we had this meeting so we can see that the buses is one of your biggest issues. So thank you so very much. But we got two more.
Belinda, the bus is not the issue. Even when they go in the classroom, how are they going to be seated? I'm 60 years old with 2 children.
Okay, so
one can be vaccinated and one cannot be. I'm not getting in.
So the classrooms are still separated, you guys. Phyllis, I know you walk to school. When you see the classrooms are still separated, the seats are not close apart. So the classrooms still have been separated. They're not moving them real close back together. So the classrooms are not the issue.
Well, I hope not, because they're not telling us that. They're telling us something.
Well, maybe someone from the administration could share with us a little bit more about classroom spacing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, but I promised Ms. Cross, that she can answer her question at M, and then anything else we got to come back to. I know, Tracy, we're going to have to come back to you after we come back to LaToya. We'll get Phyllis in there because Ms. Wright has a question, but let's do M and Ms. Cross, and let's do the online learning. So M, you want to go ahead, and then Ms. Cross, and then we'll go back to.
Hi, I have a child that's entering both Bowie High School as well as Whitehall Elementary School. I spoke with 2, and I understand that you're saying that the classrooms are separated and so forth, but I can tell you when I spoke with the secretary down at Bowie High School, she's definitely not on the same page. I was told today that the school would operate as if there was no COVID, meaning that the kids would be moving through the hallways. And I guess my concern is, how on earth the more contact and exposure that the kids are having through the hallways, and so how does any of these other measures make sense?
Okay, so Ms. Merrill can answer that. When I say about the classroom, when I walk to schools, the desks are still apart. The desks are not as close as they used to be. But Ms. Merrill, can you answer how the students are going to be walking the hallways?
So right now we're following the COVID, the CDC requirements to 3 feet apart, which is 3 feet for children and actually 6 feet for adults. And everyone will be wearing a mask in all buildings. And so we are still following CDC guidelines, which are in place at this time.
Right, but this is a high school, and let's just be honest, Bowie High School has a huge issue with fights in the hallway. We already have, so many examples of that taking place. So if you can't control fighting in the hallways, how exactly are you controlling these kids from not touching each other? That's question number 1. And, going back to, I forgot the guy's name who handles the facilities part. How can I ensure that my daughter has severe allergies, and I want to ensure that her classrooms have air purifiers, and that is even if I have to purchase them myself. I contacted the school and I left a message, but I still have not gotten an answer on that. And again, the secretary has absolutely nothing. She doesn't know what's going on.
Can we please get some follow-up for M on this? Because I think this is a very good point, that there may be organizations or our own organization that can enable for folks that want to support.
So Mrs. M, if you could drop that information in the chat, and one of the board members will make sure we'll answer that question, drop the school that your child is in, the class, and we'll get down to the answer to that, and we'll give you a reply back.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So Ms. Cross, and then we'll go back to security and transportation. Ms. Cross. Can't hear you, Ms. Cross. You still got your mute on. Is it Cash? She got a hand up. I don't hear anything.
Mayor Cross, if you want to unmute yourself.
I got her. She got her.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Ms. Queen, and to our mighty District 4. Thank you, Shayla Adams. We appreciate you all launching this for us. I think it's very important that we understand that before and after care, primarily because for DOD, they're really accommodating, but I'm concerned about most of our blue collar workers when mostly previous to COVID-19, we had the 6 o'clock drop off and the 6 p.m. pickup. But I know just for Kingsford Elementary, the Base Up program actually did not return. And they have an alternative, but I think it has a limited amount of personnel or children that it can take on. So I'm really concerned about that before and after care program to ensure that parents can consistently return to work. Now, I know that the scare is to send children back to school in the first place, but I also have a second point to my inquiry as to, do we have courses of action prepared so it's not just a knee-jerk reaction, your child got exposed to COVID and now you're out of school and parents have to jump through hoops. I will tell you from experience, I ran through 2 weeks of leave just trying to cover down for what happened in the last COVID scare. So now that we're in the Delta variant and other variants, what actions are the PGCPS taking to ensure that we have appropriate courses of actions to ensure that we don't do the knee-jerk reaction of exposure and now I got to figure out the leave situation and borrow from my colleagues so that I can get paid. Thank you so much for allowing my question.
I'm not sure if anybody can answer that question, or do we need? I do apologize. I'm not sure. Ms. Merrill, do you know the answer to any of that? No. Okay, so can I get you to send me an email on that question if you don't mind? Belinda.Queen, I put my email in there. And me or Prashette, I'll get you an answer back to that, okay?
Yes, Mary Cross, go ahead. And well, actually, I do believe that there was some information about before and after care posted in the chat. Dr. Merrill, is there any information we have about before and after care?
Mary Cross had a whole lot of, so we're gonna get.
Yeah, I did put a the message in there. One thing, there's the safe return to in-person instruction and continuality of service plan is posted on the school website. I'm going to ask somebody from technology or communications if you could put that link in there, because it'll give a lot of answers to some of these questions that we have. I did pull the piece in reference to before and after care and the 4 agencies that are available there. And I must say to you all, I'm trying to address some of the questions that don't fall in my shop and get you some answers. Okay. And so I'm definitely trying to type out responses and actually pull them from the plan as we go. So I'm definitely thinking that we need to actually probably capture the questions and get some responses back out to the public.
Okay, so we can give her a break, and I want to thank staff for being bold and being able to get on this meeting with us, you guys. I truly want to thank you, especially Ms. Merrill, because I know you have the bulk of the questions to answer. So we're going to go back real quick to safety and security service, and then online campus, and then we're going to go about another 10 minutes back into the questions, and then we'll go ahead and end the call. But please still put your questions in the chat. If you have a question and you want to put your email.
I thought you were going to let me speak before you went to there.
No, I said.
If you're not going to, okay, that's fine.
No, we're going to go to transportation and online services.
That's fine. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's
okay.
the problem I have. Thank you.
About transportation?
No, the problem that I have that no one's questions are being answered.
Okay.
You know, he's talking about what the custodian's going to do, and he's lying about that. And what the bus drivers are going to do, with the team, nobody is answering questions. I'm so sorry. You go ahead with your meeting.
So let me explain. So we were supposed to actually finish the presentation. We had 2 speakers who haven't finished yet. We went ahead and we started asking some questions because people's hands were up. But we need
and we need security. We need
and
security.
Then we're gonna go back to.
We need security in the schools. We need security in the schools.
So we're gonna go back to questions. And I got, just so people know, like Miss Phyllis, I have a list. Miss Phyllis, I have your name on a list. I have Latoya name on a list. I have Tracy name on the list. I have Miss Jocelyn Rawls name on the list, and I think Janice had her name up on again. So I had your names, and I just see Miss Thomas now. So I have a list, and that's going to be the end of the list.
That's feeling good, but I'm just saying we need to answer the people's questions who's calling in. We don't have a beautifier for all the rooms in all the schools. We only have 2 per school. So they need to talk about that. We don't have enough bus drivers. You know, we need to tell the people, that tell the parents the truth. Don't sugarcoat it and go around the bush meat. Tell them exactly what's going on. This is a pandemic. I lost 5 family members in my family. I don't want to hear a bunch of what you're going to do. I got 2 kids in here that I'm responsible for. They can bring I'm surgery.
Miss Wright.
Don't say Miss Wright nothing. Tell me the truth. Now,
Now, Miss Wright, I hear what you're saying, Miss Wright. I just want to say, I totally hear you, Miss Wright, and I hear exactly what you're saying. I think I think some of the
do that. Can't do that.
Miss Wright,
I think 2 of the
tell the truth. Tell the people.
We have 185 other people, Phyllis, and we're trying to really hear from them all. And you know we love you. And I know, just like you have 2 babies, I have, and we want to hear the truth, but we can only go by what we've been told by staff. We're giving you guys the opportunity to hear, and they can only share what they've been told to share. I know a lot of you, just like I would like to hear more, but I'm gonna be honest with you, they can only share what they've been told to be shared, okay? At this time, we're gonna go here to Department of Safety and Security Service, and we're gonna have Tamara give us that presentation.
You all could have gave us a printout of these in advance, these slideshows. We need questions answered. The slideshows, you can email those out. Have anybody considered that?
Actually, they should have just been talking, but they wanted to do slideshows, and it may be just for them to read them. We're trying to get as many questions in as possible.
We don't have that much time to be doing reading all these slides. That can be emailed to the parents. The questions need to get answered. That's what I thought this forum was about tonight.
So I'll say let's continue with the presentation, and Ms. Hill, we do hear you. I just want to make sure that let's get through the presentation, and then we can go back into the list that Board Member Queen has created. Many parents have also submitted questions in the form that I've given them there with their email, and we're going to work on getting those questions answered directly to you. But let's continue with the presentation, and then we can come back to the question and answer. Thank you.
Okay, please answer the online question. Please answer
coming up next. That's coming up next. Thank you.
Okay, so safety and security, something really fast. I didn't even see if Tamara's on here because I didn't see her say anything.
Hi, good evening. I'm here. However, I'm not over the Department of Safety and Security. I do the online programs.
Okay, let's
go ahead, Tom.
I'm sorry, that's Robert Foss. I'm sorry.
I do. Thank you. That's okay. Good evening, Prince George's County Public School family. On behalf of the Department of Safety and Security Services, our overview.
Mr. Foss, did we lose him or did I just lose him? Is that just me or did he go out?
Mr. Foster's going in and out.
Okay. So we may have to come back to Mr. Foss. Who may have, y'all done scared the man away.
Are you able to?
You going in and out.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now. Mr. Foss, for some reason.
In an effort to improve the security. Okay. You cannot hear me?
We can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right, I'll try this again. In an effort to improve security at the high, middle, and elementary schools, the administration agreed to give added security to both middle, elementary schools. Safety and security counselors will visit these schools and meet with each.
Mr. Foss, you went on mute for some reason. I don't know. Okay, so we've
already read the slideshow. I think we can move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. Don't worry about Mr. Foss. I know some people have concerns about safety and security. Well, we'll do this. We want to get as many questions answered. So let's go to online options real quick, and then we'll go ahead and finish the questions. So online service.
Hi, good evening, families and board members. Thank you once again for joining tonight. As previously stated, my name is Tamara Cease. I serve as the online programs coordinator for the Area 3 office under the phenomenal leadership of my leader, Dr. Carletta Merrill, our associate soup over high schools and alternative schools. For our virtual learning programs that we do offer, we offer 5 different pathways, if you will, as it relates to virtual learning. Our first one is known as our educational online program that is housed at all of our high schools, our comprehensive, as well as our alternative schools, as well as CMIT North and South as of for this year. Our educational online program, known as EOP, is a semesterized virtual program where students can earn a maximum of 2 credits per semester. The educational online program is offered both in the fall and spring semester, and it serves more so as an after-school pathway. The majority of our students who participate in educational online program usually are recovering a credit that they need to recover towards graduating on time with their respective cohort. However, we do have a number of students who are eligible for original credit courses pending approval from their counselor, as well as the assistant principal over that program. But that educational online program, known as EOP, is conducted after school in a virtual format. The second option that we have is our evening virtual program. Evening virtual program, again, is offered at all of our comprehensive high schools. And as we all know, our previously evening high schools held at Crossland and Northwestern have dissolved. We no longer have an evening high school. However, what has replaced that is an evening virtual program that is housed at every one of our comprehensive high schools. Now, the evening virtual program is not structured like the virtual learning that our students were in last year. So it's really, really important that if you have a high schooler between the grades of 10 and between 10, 11th and 12th graders who are interested in participating in this virtual program, we encourage parents and students as well to be in touch with the assigned professional school counselor, so that everyone is aware of what the expectations and the format looks like for our evening virtual program. The other high school option that we offer is called the Maryland Virtual Learning Program, known as MVLO. MVLO is structured a little bit differently. So where EOP is can earn up to 2 credits per semester, our evening virtual students can earn up to 4 credits per semester. Our Maryland Virtual Learning Program is structured a little different because we only encourage students to participate in 1 course per semester. This is for 2 reasons. One, the course itself is extensively longer than our customized courses within our district. These are state-approved customized courses. So it's what the state says a student needs to complete in its entirety in order for that child to earn that respective credit. Again, we only recommend that 1 at a time. And what makes MVLO so special is that it allows a student to earn a credit that is not offered within their respective base school. So if a student is interested in taking Chinese, for example, however, the school itself does not offer that course, our district pays for that, and they're able to participate in that credit via our Maryland Virtual Learning Program. As we all know, and what has been expressed so colorfully on this call tonight, we do have a new online campus. We have a new online option for K through 6, as well as for 7 through 12. The K through 6 virtual learning option that we have right now, again, supports our K through 6 students who are not eligible for the vaccine as of this moment. Right now, we are still in the process of creating this pathway and offering this pathway to families. We are definitely hearing the county and hearing the concerns around how the information was disseminated, the number of seats that are available. We do hear you. Please know that we are still working tirelessly around the clock to provide a virtual option for these students. And I'll go ahead and speak to online campus. The online campus, similar to that as well as for our 7 to 12 students. However, the online campus was structured for students who academically perform well in a virtual setting. The online campus was not in response to COVID. It was not in response to the new Delta variant. The online campus was literally structured for students who academically excel in a virtual setting. Now, for both of these options, K through 6, virtual learning pathway, as well as 7 through 12, it is limited seating. essentially because one, the goal for this school year is to come back into the building, right? That is originally Dr. Golson's original plan, was that we'd be able to come back and reconnect. However, with these virtual pathways and the limited seating that is offered, it is limited simply because we are still working around staffing. We can only enroll students to what we can staff as a district. So it sounds, easy in a sense to say, we'll just put students to be virtual, but we have to ensure that a teacher is assigned, that child is receiving the best, highest quality instructional support possible. But as a district, these are our virtual learning programs that we do house for our high schoolers as it relates to credit recovery, in addition to our 7th and 8th graders, our middle school, who earn a seat with the online campus, as well as our K-6 students who are opting in for a virtual learning pending acceptance into that program. Again, it is still in discussion of how to best support K-6. That is all I can say at the time. But thank you so much, Ms. Queen, and to the fellow board members, as well as the families who are here.
Thank you so very much. And so we're going to get to answering the rest of the questions we have. Anybody else, please? We're just going to go by the list I have, and anybody else, please chat. And just note, one of the things that was just addressed, they are making changes daily. And I'm going to let you guys know, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm sure the staff is going to go back to Dr. Golson and take some of y'all concerns that you had today. And when she have her meeting this week, because she is having a town hall meeting for all the parents, things are going to change. So just please pay close attention, because I've noticed that has happened, that, one thing has been said, and then within a couple of days, things change. And I know she's doing a great job of trying to do what's right by our babies. So first of all, I think we had LaToya, and then we had Miss Wright, then we have Miss Cash. So we're going to start with them three, and then we're going to go ahead and do Tracy, Janice, and Joshua, and then that's going to be the end of the class. Oh, Thomas, I
don't know if we had LaTanya Triplet on there. She wasn't able to raise her hand. Okay, sorry.
Okay. I think, did I say LaTanya? I got her. She was first. You got to unmute.
I did. How are you? How are you guys doing today? I appreciate you so much, you guys, for taking the time to try to address the best as you can, because I know it's a difficult situation for us all, and we just have to not be receptive, but understand we all going through this together. And I just want you to know that I did have the opportunity to email Dr. Ghost and myself, because I was having concerns. I'm reading the questions online as well and trying to answer some of them as they were coming up with the online schooling, because I had problems, kept emailing, and nobody was talking about the virtual. I'm like, we're getting closer and closer to school, like where's the orientation and so forth. But Dr. Golson did sign his name, Andrew Zuckerman. He did reach out to me. He did send me an email, tell me that they will be having something this week. I haven't heard anything. I'm checking the email every day, every morning. I'm checking everything. But one of the questions I was just waiting for her to answer, because I knew we did the online for K-6 campus online. And one of my questions, I don't know now, maybe I just need to wait until the orientation, because one of my concerns was where they was going to do the orientation, were we picking up school books from the school again like they did last year? When were they going to send a link out? Like, who are we linking up to? Is it going to be Zoom? It was just numerous of questions, but me answering and trying to listen to you guys as well at the same time. I don't know maybe whether I need to wait until the orientation to address those questions, but I did have a question for, is it Tony Sproul, about transportation? Is he still here? I can't see him.
He's still here.
Yes,
okay. So one of my question was, so my son, he won't be able to get the vaccine. He'll be 12 in December, so he will be doing the online campus K-6. My thing is that this is his first time in the school system with PG County. He's been with a private school. We only came due to this COVID at the time that we signed him up for public school because he didn't want to pay that money with him staying at home. when do I initially, if he was to go back to school with the school bus, because they kept posting on the school website that you had to put in a time frame if your child was going to be catching the bus or not. He never been on a bus before. Do I sign him up after the first semester because he hadn't gotten the vaccine yet? He's not old enough yet. Do I do it then, or do I do it before the 20th to make sure that he's already in the system? When do I do that?
So I think Ms. Merrill can answer that. Carlotta, I've been in the school system for long for PTA, but once the child is registered, even though he's on online campus, but once all of that stops, he should automatically be in for a bus. Automatically, is that not right? Yeah.
But he never been on a bus. He's never been. This is his first year. He came from National Christian Academy. He's never even stepped. When he started JF then, he started from virtual during the pandemic. He's never even stepped foot into school yet.
Yeah, so I think Mr. Sproul answered that question in reference to the transportation. I think you have to, as long as you're registered by the 25th, you actually postcards have started to go out with your routes and your bus routes if in fact you're registered for a comprehensive school. In terms of the virtual school for K-6, as Ms. C shared, we're currently working to actually look at the K-6 model, because again, the virtual setting was not set as a program in lieu of, if you didn't want to go back to school because of COVID. It was actually set as a program for individuals who were doing well doing virtual learning. He
did straight A student, yes.
And so that's why someone asked about the limited seats, someone asked about different situations. And so we are currently actually working with the area office team to actually look at all these numbers and see what we can do to actually do something different with the K-6 programming. And so that's why one of the reasons you all have not heard back, because we're still scrubbing through all of the numbers as it relates to the K-6 applications.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah. He already received the acceptance, and I had to reserve his seat. He already been accepted on, I think it was July the 23rd. I was just more concerned because he's new around here. He's never been on the bus. Do I register him while he is still doing virtual, or do I wait till after the first semester and then registered? I think that was pretty much my.
And we'll help and guide you through that process.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't want to wait till it was too late, or do we just do it right after virtual? I just want, I stay in contact with Dr. Proctor from JF just to, and she tried to answer the same thing, you guys, trying to answer the best that you can.
Understood, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, that was it. And the rest of the questions, like I said, I think there's another meeting on the 26th. With Dr. Grossman.
And when you find out from that meeting, I'm sure a lot of things will have changed by then. A lot of things even that was heard tonight will probably be addressed and be changed because of this meeting. So please stay tuned. Stay tuned.
And when that time comes, we do have Info Finder, where when you put your address in, it will tell you the bus route and the bus stop that's closest for your child.
I did that already. It doesn't show, the only thing it shows you is the school.
It just started today.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, I checked, it just shows you the school.
It just started today. Mm-hmm.
And that's Info Finder, correct?
Info Finder, yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you guys a lot.
All right, is Ms. Wright here? Because I know she had the question. She may have left.
Yeah, I'm here, Miss Queen.
Okay.
I'd like to apologize to all the parents and the teachers and all the people that's on board. Belinda Queen, you have been a tremendous school board member. You have always been honest with the parents and the people of District 6. I have walked these schools with you many of times. And as you all know, I have 2 children. And my concern is when I want answers, I want answers. I don't want to be rerouted around something that's not the truth. The truth is we are 270 bus drivers down. If we need our parents to pick up, let's ask them and not have our children out there waiting. We do not have enough air humidifier for all the schools. There's only 2 in each school. So when you say that we have enough, we do not. But the county is getting a lot of money. So we should have enough, but we don't. So when I say be honest with me, be honest with the parents, because I am a mother. Tell me the truth. Don't tell me something that's unexpected, because I don't want to hear that. And when I say my children, I have 2 daughters in here, but all of my children in Prince George's County schools are my children. And we have to look at it this way. It takes a village, all of us, to participate when we need help to make us stronger. This is Prince George's County. We should not keep on lying to the parents, say what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. And then what I want to know is, are my 2 kids going to be safe going back to school? I don't want somebody to say, throw these kids in there. We need them. I want my kids to go back to school because they're honor roll students, and I want them to get that full education. But I want them not to bring me COVID home. I don't want that. I don't want you to tell me, well, we have to put some kids. No. What do you all have in place where we know that the children are going to be safe? Don't give me something that you think no, show me what you're going to do. And that's all I ask. And that's all the parents are asking. So when you tell the driver, say, well, you go to the app and no. Tell the people the truth. We 270 bus drivers down. If you need to take your kids to school, take your children to school, help out. Fact of the matter, help out. Don't sit there and tell your children gonna be standing out there in that corner waiting, they're not gonna get a bus, and you call the app or call through the slot and nobody answers the phone. Tell them the truth. Tell them what it is, what it's gonna be. Now we got the best school board here in Prince George's County, the best school boards. So let's use it. Use our 7, got the best school board members. Now I'm gonna get off of here because if I don't,
you're gonna get emotional. And all she's saying is she just wants us to be transparent, and we understand her.
Tell the truth.
Like she just wants transparent. She wants transparent from the staff, but we can only give you what we're given, and that's why, as board members, we have staff bringing to you guys because we don't really know. We learn some of the things about the same time you guys learn it, but we're trying to be as transparent as possible. And she's right. I mean, we didn't even get a chance to say it because I want to call on some of the other ones. Remember, I've said it last year. Kids are going back. They're going back with their computers. It's still going to take the community. Some of you parents may have to carry your kids back. It's still going to take all of us. And so all she's just saying is for staff and just to get back to Dr. Ghost. I'm saying whatever is needed, just ask the community and we'll all work together to make sure that our babies are getting the most safe education as possible, because we do want to make sure that the ones who really need to go back is getting the education that they need so very much. So we love you too, Phyllis. We have Miss Cass. So we had Tracy. It was Tracy who had a question. Nope. All right, then we'll go to Joshua, and then we'll go to Janice, be the last one. Oh, Thomas, and then Janice, the last one.
Hi, thank you, board member Queen. I am a mother of 4 students. 2 of my children attend Thomas G. Pullen. One of my students is in the autism program at Kenmore Middle School, and I have a young man at Bladensburg High School. This question, I also am a council member in the town of Bladensburg. So a lot of these questions, this first question, I have 2. The first question is from our Bladensburg High School students who have contacted me today to inform me that they need some help with their uniforms. Now, I know that our awesome school board voted that it's school by school, and it'll be up to the school principal so that they can be able to say if they can get uniforms or not. But here we are a couple weeks from school, and there has been no official communication to our Bladensburg High School students. And the football team contacted me because they had a conversation today with the principal. So is there a way that we could advocate that at least our Title I schools can not have a uniform requirement? I have parents who are coming to these back to school drives in tears because they've lost their job because of COVID. They can't afford, a backpack with supplies, and we're supplying that. But to throw this at the last minute that our students have to wear uniforms, our students are concerned. So that's my first question. And my second question is that, is there a way that municipalities can join forces with our PG County transportation to do some type of marketing effort for our bus drivers? I think from what I'm hearing on this call is the transportation issue is the most pressing issue. And I thank you so much, PGCPS staff, for being here and just answering the questions. I know it's a lot of emotions, but I think we could use municipalities to get the word out. If you have a CDL license, let's hire some of our families. A lot of our municipalities were a lot closer to our unemployed population than possibly you are. So those are my two questions. And I'm just thankful that our phenomenal board was able to put this together. And parents, I'm in this with y'all. We're gonna get through this, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
I could maybe address that a little bit from the council member. I do want to uplift in the chat box, council member, what Dr. Marrow has said, and that she said that she will follow up with Ladensburg High School about the communication going out. So thank you, Dr. Marrow, for that. In terms of the school uniforms, the board did, and I'm speaking in terms of having been chair of the policy committee the past school year, we did look at school uniforms, and there was proposals brought forward to the full board around having an opt-in policy around school uniforms. Right now, we have an opt-out policy around school uniforms. So in order for a school to no longer have a uniform, there are certain requirements that have to be made to petition the school for that. The movement to have an opt-in strategy where you have to opt into, each school has to opt into wanting school uniforms, did not make it to passage. And so right now we still have the opt-out strategy, and that's all listed in an administrative procedure, which I can take a look at and see if I can drop in the chat box, but that's kind of where that's at. I do want to yield to Dr. Merrill to do more specific follow-up, but I wanted to provide you with that information. And Dr. Merrill, if you have anything to add, you can feel free to do so.
Yes, all school letters were posted on their website. Probably it's at least 2 weeks ago now, that every school checked to make sure that they were all posted with requirements and uniform policies and so forth. If in fact there are students in need, please tell those families to reach out directly to their schools, because many schools collect uniforms, have many donations of uniforms. I know we had the back to school drive this weekend at another school this weekend, do a school uniform drive, so please make sure that they're reaching out to their school if they do have needs, because we do have community partnerships that are helping with uniforms and things of that nature, because we do know that, individuals have different situations that they definitely need uniforms for school. So we do help them and supply them with those things.
Thank you so very much for that.
Good evening, Miss Queen. This is Tracy. I'm here. I believe you called me, but I wasn't.
Yes, I did, Tracy. Go ahead.
I had, my question was in reference to the PG County matrix that states that if there's moderate infection, I believe it's from 5% to 7.9%, that the schools would be hybrid. Has there been an updated policy to address that? Because that last time I checked, I think we were at 6%.
I'm not sure about that, Ms. Merrill. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I think I saw Meg posted it earlier. Right now, the state of Maryland has said that all schools must be in school and face-to-face. It's not just the Prince George's County Public School rule that we could not do hybrid. So that's one of the reasons that we're actually face-to-face. It's not a decision of just the school system. And I believe Meg posted that language in here earlier. I'm trying to find it.
Okay. My second question would be surrounding the lunchrooms. We were informed that the lunches would take place in our multi-purpose room. And so my biggest concern is that the youth would be in the classrooms for more than 30 minutes without masks. So do you have a way to address that, or contact tracing, those type of things?
Yeah, so we have a full policy in place around COVID-19 procedures and protocols to follow. If in fact there's probably, we have it if there's a possible case, we have it if there's a confirmed case. If you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated, the steps we must take as a school district to follow up and follow through with these cases.
Is there a reason why they're not able to eat in the classrooms? It just seems that, my child goes to Whitehall. We are over 100% capacity. So I can only imagine what the multi-purpose room is going to look like during lunchtime. And I don't necessarily know if there's a way for you to track that.
Yeah, so there are actually a variety of situations that you'll see in varied schools. Some will be in the multi-purpose room, using courtyards, using classrooms. It really depends on the population, as well as staffing, because our teachers do have to have a 30-minute duty free, and so it really truly depends on the school, the space. So you'll see varying situations to actually try to keep the students from being in one location all day, because part of what we found during COVID is they definitely need to address the social emotional learning pieces as well as the mental state to actually have that break. But of course, health and safety is our first, priority. And so that's the big piece with many of our schools.
Right. So I guess my just concern is if we're having such a conversation about buses and them having masks on in buses, but we're allowing our youth to sit 60 students, 70 students in a lunchroom saying mask for 30 minutes. That would be under the CDC guideline of direct exposure. And I know that Montgomery County also brought it up as an issue.
Well, thank you, Tracy. Can you email that to the board as a whole? I'm going to tell you guys, when some of you guys have stuff, you email it to the board so we can send it to staff and get the answer to some of your questions also, because we get a lot of emails daily, but we have staff to answer some of the questions. But I think that one might be a good question. So please send that question on email so we can get that answer for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Thomas.
Yes, I had the same question that Tracy had actually, so it was answered. But can I get Ms. Merrill to just give her answer one more time as to why, with the infection rate being over 6%, the PG County, like she mentioned on the website, it does say that we should be following a hybrid model. Could you tell me one more time why we are not? Because I kind of missed it. I'm so sorry. My daughter came at the time you were answering. I apologize.
And I'm not sure if you're looking at the old plan or the new safe return plan. And I will say that all of our plans change daily based on, what the metrics are, based on what our county executive decisions are, CEO decisions. So as things change, we update the plans and things may change. I mean, I must say to you, with the Delta variant, we really didn't plan that this would be where we are. We tried to plan to come back to school. We were ready, and now with the Delta variant, so it has changed some of how we're operating. And so that's where we are today as we talk about the online campus and things of that nature. So it's very important that if in fact you're pulling off the website, to make sure you're pulling the most recent information that speaks to where we are currently and right now. And that plan is called the Safe Return to In-Person Instruction and Continuality of Service Plan.
Okay, but your answer as to why it wouldn't be adhered to right now is because we're following under the whole state, you said, and not just specifically PG County. Was that your answer?
So I'm not going to speak directly to that component because I don't make those decisions.
Okay, no, I was getting you to re-emphasize what you had said to Ms. Tracy.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm following the plan.
Okay, no, I'll email the question to them.
Okay.
Thank you.
So very much. Okay, we got Janice. Yeah, another question, Janice. Go ahead.
Yes, well, it was about the online campus. So I missed the application deadline for that. I never received an email or text saying that PG County Public Schools were offering that. However, after many calls and emails to the board members, they offered the online campus waiting list. At this point, I haven't received anything regarding my son's status or anything like that. So I'm assuming that they have to go to school. They have to be in school And myself, my kids we're really not happy with going to school during COVID. They did a great job with online. They're one of the students that did do well with online campus or distant learning. So what should I assume?
I don't want to cut you off, but guess what? You're one of the reasons why we did that online waiting list. And you're right, we got the emails. So Dr. Golson started that waiting list. You at the top of the list. I'm sure you're gonna be hearing real soon.
Okay.
I'm sure she's gonna get she's gonna accept some more students, and I know you at the top of the list because you were one of the reasons why we did that.
What grade level are your children?
7 through 12.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna close out, but I do know Enoch, which is a student, a younger generation, so I'm gonna give him the opportunity to answer questions, and then we're gonna close the meeting after that, you guys. Enoch.
Hi, I have a quick question. Are masks going to be provided to students who don't have PPE?
For your
yes,
we have plenty of masks. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
They'll be given to it before they get on the bus and everything. They will definitely be given masks.
I have a question. I know you said online classes was closed, but if your child have a health issue,
it's a waiting list. I don't think they said it was closed. I think they said it was a waiting list, right? Yeah, it's a waiting list. You can go.
Yeah, but the application process, I believe, the deadline has passed, depending on what grade level it is.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they had added a new waiting list.
Right.
They closed it. Called about. They said they closed that last Monday.
Oh, they closed
it.
It's closed.
I believe the K-6 closed on Friday. I know Ms. Cease had to go off for another meeting.
Well, let me just say this as your board member, that if it's needed and enough of you keep sending your emails and keep complaining and keep emailing Dr. Gossett, I'm showing if there's a will, there will be a way, okay? Enoch, if you had something else that you wanted to say, if not, we're gonna go ahead and close the meeting. I'm gonna give the board members, because I see the hand up, but I'm not hearing you say nothing. What is it? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was trying to go, but then you see people just decided to
go ahead. Okay, go ahead, baby.
But before I start talking, I'm not going to talk too much. I do want to thank board member Queen, board member Ahmed, and board member Shayla out of staff, and then of course our wonderful SMUB for being here tonight. And also want to applaud Dr. Golson's leadership team. Like Ms. Queen said, I'm a student here in Prince George's County. I go to the best high school in PG County, but we're not going to disclose that. But I hear everyone's concerns, everything. And one thing that's really surprising, I know, like they said, there's a lot of unanswered questions, but at the same time, we do need to understand this is really out of Dr. Golson's hands. She has to do what is best for us. And, as a student, I feel like we can't be in the same box for the next 2 years talking about something. We got to stay online, this, that. And, I see the comments, I see the chat, I see the ranting, with the back and forward with, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do that. And I'm surprised to see there's actually no students on here, and some parents say their students do not want to go back. Most of the people that I have talked to, they actually do want to return back to school. So it's kind of hard to see where people say, oh, my child don't want to go back to school, because are you learning from home? So I don't understand where people come from the fact. But one thing that is very disappointing is that also the Board of Education isn't back in person either. You can't send us back, but then you're not going back. And also, as being board members, whether the chair doesn't want to go back, you still have a voice. Make sure that you do go back in person. So I feel like that's one thing that you guys should look into. I know it's not really Dr. Golson's choice, but it's also the chair. So talk to your chair, about that. And then I cannot wait to go back to school. Let's just say, and I cannot wait. It's about time that we get back to some type of normalcy in this, human society. Although, safety is first, like Dr. Golson, she always says safety is first. So she'll make sure she has not put us in a type of environment where she felt wasn't uncomfortable. So, sometimes we just got to chill out, and just let it play out and then see how it goes. And as us being in Prince George's County, the best county in the United States of America, we are the role model. As you can see, everybody copies on what we do. So we definitely know what we're doing, but at the same time, sometimes you got to let the leader do what she do, and then if it doesn't work, we could do, like, for example, you see how she has a town hall. She just, she probably will address some of these concerns that you have. So just wait and see on Wednesday, and then we'll go on. But with that being said, I'm gonna stop talking. But I do want to thank you guys for hosting this. It was very interesting, people going back and forth, addressing their concerns. But yeah.
So I love you. And she is having a town hall, and it was question about us having this, and I had to fight to have this. And I was like, I still have some of my constituents, you guys, that just want that personal. And so even though if she did not want us to have it at first, we decided, look, I want to have it. I wanted you guys to express yourself, and we wanted to hear from you guys. And so it was very important. So before I close out, I'm going to go ahead and hear from our student board member, Ms. Adam Sanford and Ms. Ahmed. You guys, go ahead, student board member first.
So I again want to thank our board members, our leadership team for being here today, and allowing our parents to really be able to speak out and ask the questions they do have. I do encourage everyone to go onto the town hall going on Wednesday. I know we'll have even more information on that day. Like Ms. Merrill mentioned, I mean, the plan is changed almost every day. And so by Wednesday, there's going to be new information that we all have to know. And so I highly encourage everyone to be there. I would like to piggyback off what Enoch mentioned about our students who do want to get back. I mean, we can't say that some students don't that we don't have students that don't want to go back. I mean, we do have students who they excelled online, students who don't feel safe going back. But we also have a lot of students who want to go back, who felt that last year they basically just had a year where they failed themselves. And I know that that's the feeling that a lot of our students had, because they had a huge, I don't even know how to put into words, the mental health impact that came towards our students this past year, has just been something that we as board members and as an administration have definitely had to take a look into, and an eye opener towards the fact that our students' mental health is truly impacted. And so for us to say that all our students, don't want to go back, we can't say that. And so I personally am excited to go back to school. I know I truly flourish myself being more hands-on and in person. And when it comes to school buses, I personally may not be going on a school bus, but I encourage parents, like was mentioned, to do their part. I mean, take your students to school. And if you can't, I mean, find the means to get them to school. And so that's what I will say with that. And I thank all the parents for your comments today. I think having the different perspectives is truly important, especially when it comes to going back to school. Thank you.
All right. Again, I just want to thank every parent and family member that joined in on this call. And I cannot imagine just the frustration and anxiety that parents and families must feel right now. I feel stressed and I'm nervous. I have to be transparent, that is sort of the theme of the evening, and that we all want to have more information. And as my colleague said, Dr. Goldson has done a great job of sharing and relaying information as it's coming. And so I do believe that this week there will be more information forthcoming that can answer a lot of these questions. But one great way to get your question answered, I put in the chat a link where you can put your name and your email address and your question. And we each have a board liaison, a community liaison that will work with us to get those answers and email you back personally. So again, also there is a site with information that some of the administration shared earlier. Maybe we can drop that site in the chat so people can find some of what we talked about this evening. But again, I'll also put my email there. Please feel free to reach out at any point if you have a question. And our job as the board is to hold you know, our school system accountable and to bring these concerns to the school system. And so now, after hearing from you all this evening, we definitely have a better understanding of what we need to do in order to advocate. So thank you again. Where's the link to send info? Okay, I'll drop it here. Drop your information there. Again, thank you so much. And I have to get this toddler to bed, so I may be signing off in a few minutes. You can probably hear her on some cartoons right now, but thank you all so much.
Rahila?
Yeah, thank you. I do want to thank everybody for joining here. And I want to reiterate something that Ms. Queen just said a couple minutes ago, and that was that we fought for this space. Having a Zoom meeting like this, where there is open dialogue, where folks can go back and forth and just be really real with us, we fought for this space because we knew it was important to have. And just like we fought to have this space, we're going to fight harder and harder and harder for those things that you all have mentioned on today's call that are going to be best for our kids. Like, this is the mindset that we're coming into this with. And honestly, you know, with all that's been going back and forth, it's giving me some energy. So I am like, you know, before I was ready to roll, but now I really feel ready to roll, because this is what we're, you know, we're right around the corner from school starting. And I know that, you know, I'm impassioned by hearing everybody and the passion that you bring to the table for your kids. There are kids too. And so, oh, there's Miss Queen, there's her princess over there. So from my behalf, and I know board member Saron Ruiz, Adam Stafford, and Queen, thank you all for giving us a lot to take forward to our colleagues and talk about and think about. And of course, there's some emails going on being put into the chat box. So don't be afraid to follow up with us on anything and hold us accountable. Like, really, like, this is not, there's no space or no, I think, frame of mind in which any of us want to be anything less than genuine with you all. So keep us accountable, but we're impassioned, we're ready to go. Back to you, Ms. Queen.
Thank you so very much. I just want to say, y'all saw Serenity, she can't wait to go back to school. She's laughing, she's like, she can't wait to see her teachers and her students, and I'm scared, but we're trying to be transparent. I just want to thank you all. We had almost 200 people on here, but I had a lot of people on Facebook because I'm live on Facebook. But thank you guys. I mean, you guys care. We all care. We care about the students, and it's all about putting the kids first. And we're gonna get through this together as a school system, and together as a county, and together as a community. Thank you so very much. Please reach out to us, email us. Y'all know you can go on PGCPS and email any of us. We are here for you. We're here to serve. I know most of us, we love what we do. We love being here, and we love serving you guys. And thank you for taking the time out your evening to stand up and speak up for your students and for your scholars. Everybody have a great evening. Peace and blessings to all of you.
Good night.
Bye.
Wait a minute, sweetie. Okay, let's. Oh, some people.
Okay, I'm going to stay here just a minute or two in case someone needs to get something out of the chat. And then I'll end. Have a great evening.
Okay, thank you. That's what I'm doing. I'm saving my chat.
Good night, y'all. Good meeting.
Thank you.
All right.
I wasn't even sure we announced you, Faye. I do apologize.
That's okay.
That's
okay. Y'all had enough to talk about.
I was like, oh my God, I saw she sent it to me and I meant to throw it in there.
That's okay. Seriously. Good night.
Good night, sweetie.
Good night.
Look at you.
It seems like I just can't get off. That's all.
Would you like me to give you the boot?
Put it.
I got it.
Put it in the waiting room. Look. She'll figure it out.
Okay, I think